Bro, I oh my god, that game, I wanted to die watching that fourth quarter, bro. Oh my god, this fourth quarter needs to just go down the history books, man. This was disgusting to witness. My god, bro, I cannot believe what was happening in that fourth quarter. That fourth quarter, just I wanted just to die, bro. That was disgustingly bad. Bulls win, but like it doesn't even feel like a win. I don't even know what to describe. I just wanted this game to end, bro. That was so bad to witness. Welcome in, everybody. Glad to see y'all here. Appreciate y'all being here. But oh my god, I just, it's like I have the feeling of like I just ate something disgusting, you know, and like I can't get the taste out of my mouth. But I didn't eat anything. I just watched basketball that was so atrocious that I want to puke. That was disgustingly bad. Oh my god, bro. I'm glad that we all survived it though, because holy crap, that was horrible. I could not believe, bro. The Bulls scored 34 points in that third quarter. I'm like, oh hey, look, you know, the offense is back, and then we go on and neither team can score in the first 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. It's like, what? Oh my god, man, that was truly you know, I guess I'm happy to witness that. I don't know, bro. That felt awful. So yeah, Bulls win. In a game that doesn't even feel like a win. This was not exactly, in my opinion, the best effort, but we won tonight. So props to the guys, I guess, for getting this one. Welcome in, everybody. How you doing, William, Britt? What a game, yeah. Guess third quarters are just going to be the Bulls thing. Honestly, bro, I think with the way the Bulls are just starting each game, like, where they can't get crap going in either game, or any of the, like, if you look at the Bulls' first quarter stats, they're not amazing at the moment. So yeah, I guess it's just, it takes a half and then the shooting comes around because they actually attempt enough. But even in tonight's game, man, I don't even think they attempted enough. They shot 34, which is not enough in my opinion. They need to shoot more. So yeah, what your game about to win? Yeah. It is very funny what you guys are saying, that out of all the shots that went down in that quarter, Banchero makes a shot from, like, I don't know, what, 39 feet out or something, and it doesn't count because, you know, you're not allowed to make that sort of shot with 0.1 seconds left. But out of all shots, it's that shot goes down, but all the other shots that went up before in the first 7 minutes didn't go down. All the traditional shots, all the open three-point shots, everything just was falling flat at that rim. But yet the Banchero shot went down, even though it doesn't count. It's just like, what the hell is happening? So yeah, that was insane. If it's going to slowly improve each game, I don't know if that's the case, honestly. I mean, look, so through the first 4 games, the Bulls have been averaging, or have been giving up on an average of 120 plus points per game. Tonight was a very different night because the Magic also just decided not to make shots when the Bulls couldn't make shots. So I don't know if that was a good defensive effort tonight. I'll give them credit for the third quarter, because the third quarter they really did slow Banchero down, but I thought the Bulls didn't play great defense in that fourth. They were just missing everything. Wild shots. This was weird, man. This was the weirdest game I've ever witnessed in my life, man. There's like 7 more minutes without a field goal by either. Yeah, like the first 7 minutes, I think 20 seconds or something like that of the fourth quarter. No one made a shot on either team. The Bulls had 2 free throws. And it's just like, God almighty, what are we watching? Like, this isn't even like 90s or like old school basketball. This is just bad basketball that we were witnessing. No one can make a shot. There's an actual lid on the rim that none of us can see. We're all just gonna suffer as everybody just keeps missing shot after shot after shot. And I wanted just to turn the game off, but I'm like, I can't, because what is this, man? I have to just watch this team just suffer. That was so bad, man. But yeah, okay. So a couple things. What the? Sorry, hold on. This is not the music I played. This is not on my playlist. Why did it do that? Okay, there we go. Giddey over Curry? Yeah, I guess Giddey is a better sniper than Steph Curry tonight. Bro, this is the weirdest game I've ever witnessed, man. Like, everything just was off tonight in terms of just what we're used to. Yeah, it wasn't a good defensive fourth quarter, in my opinion, honestly. Well, I agree. Have they ever seen that before? At least both teams sucked? Yeah. For the Bulls' luck, I guess, it was that the other team also sucked at the same time they were decided to suck. Because if the Magic were just even, like, meh on offense, like, if they just made, like, 2 shots or something, they'd probably win this game. Like, the fact that neither team made a shot in 7 minutes, if the Magic just go on, like, they put up, like, 2 threes or something, they probably win this game tonight. And then they're just like, nah, we're also just gonna miss every shot as well. Like, we're gonna be right there with you. God, that was so bad. Not exciting weird way. Wanted no shots made in the last quarter. I don't know, man. Like, I hate that. I when I see everybody like on the court looks like that they're sluggish and they just can't make a shot. Nothing's going down. Even the easy shots seem like they're just never going down. It's like, why are these guys getting paid, bro? These guys are getting paid to play basketball. These guys are getting paid to put the ball in the hoop, and we were witnessing just a ridiculously bad quarter. Starting out slow needs to be worked on. I agree. Yeah, Adam Amin turning into the Joker was so funny to just listen to, but I wasn't even laughing. I wasn't laughing in that quarter. I was sitting there like, I want to die. I'm so upset just watching and just witnessing this game. Sorry, I don't know what's happening right now. I switch tabs over and my music changes. Yeah, see, it just did it right there. Why did it do that? Okay, hold on. I might have to turn off ad block. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Nope, it still didn't work. Am I pressing a key or something? Like, I don't know what's happening. Oh, I see what's happening. Oh, okay. Wait, nope, that didn't fix it either. Hold on. Sorry. I'm closing out YouTube and I'm restarting YouTube. Sorry. I don't know what's going on here. Music, please. I want to play my music. Okay. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Okay, now ad block's off, and we'll get into it. Sorry. Is it working? Okay, music's working. Sorry about that, y'all. Is Giddey our best player? I don't think so. I think Zach's still our best player. I mean, I didn't have the greatest game tonight. But okay, so let's just go ahead and just address a couple things off the bat. So, like, you know, fourth quarter was the most disgusting thing ever. I wanted to die. In game. Sorry. That was so bad. I was just like, what the heck are we doing? I think both teams deserve to all get fined $100 and give it to all the fans that went to the game tonight, because Jerry Reinsdorf made money off of that horrible performance by both teams. So I believe that fans shall be reimbursed $100 for just going to that game and witnessing the worst quarter in history. Other than that, though, let's talk about a couple of things. So, Giddey turned into Steph Curry tonight and was just launching threes in that third quarter and couldn't miss. this is a one hell of a start to the year in terms of shooting for Josh Giddey. What is he? 10 for 18, I think, for the season now. In terms of shooting from 3-point range. Like, this is ridiculous start for the season from him. So I'm very impressed overall with how well he's shooting it. I just know that he's not going to continue shooting like this for the entire season. So I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of, you know, lowering my, what is he, 10 of 17, I guess? Yeah, so he's 10 for 17 to start the season. So he is shooting over 50% now for the season, in which we all know that he's not going to shoot over 50%. No one does that. And so this is a good sign. And I think Peter Patton right now automatically just deserves a raise for what he's already done with Giddey. So props to Giddey and props to Peter Patton for figuring whatever they figured out, because this is great start to the year. The only thing is just that, like I've been saying with Vooch, and like I think Vooch kind of regressed back to the mean tonight. Yeah, so Vooch kind of regressed back to the mean. Also Zach I kind of did as well, but we know Zach's a good shooter. So we just don't want to all of a sudden put the expectation that Giddey's going to be a 40% 3-point shooter this season. Okay. I think right now my biggest question is, when he does start to regress back, it's how badly does he go back, right? Does he go back to his 32% 3-point shooting, or does he go to a 36-37% 3-point shooter? Because if he can actually become a 37% 3-point shooter, and we're seeing Giddey hit, catch, and shoot threes this season, then this makes him a more complete player overall. So this is a very good sign, and I'm hoping this continues. Because to me, because he's still having some troubles with his finishing. We've seen it at the start of the season that his finishing is still having some troubles. That's fine. But if you're a good 3-point shooter, that's gonna, you know, the lack of finishing will take care of itself. Like, that will be fixed later on. Also, he might just get stronger later down the road. But if you become a good 3-point shooter, it opens up everything for Giddey on the offensive end. That actually makes him an effective off-ball player, so he's not just useless off-ball. And so I'm hoping this good shooting continues. Again, we shouldn't expect him to go 4 for 4 every single night. That's not gonna happen. But if he could just be a reliable shooter, that would be a humongous thing for the Bulls this season. So I'm hoping this continues with Giddey. I just like with Vooch though, and knowing that Vooch has just not been a good shooter except for one season, I'm just gonna, you know, temper my expectations with Giddey. I'm just gonna expect that he's not gonna continue shooting this great. So I'm just gonna, you know, if he does do better, I'm gonna be surprised. If he doesn't, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, the sky is falling with him. So hopefully this continues. This will be a very great thing for the Bulls if this can continue. And I'm gonna show you a few plays where Giddey's shooting actually opened up some shots for others tonight. Just because now that, like, the Magic were like, oh my god, he's hitting his threes tonight. Crap, we actually have to guard him at the 3-point line, and you see how it opens up others for shots because he's now a threat. The ability to score is humongous when it comes to the ability to play make. You have to be able to score if you're gonna be a playmaker, and he's doing just that so far. Let's see. Sorry. Player of the match, maybe Io. I think Io is it's either Io or Kobe in my opinion tonight. For like, I guess it's also Giddey overall. So I mean, you can pick one of these three guys between Kobe, Io, and Giddey for player of the game, because they all did a really good job. I'm very happy to see Io is finishing well again at the rim, so I'm not concerned about his finishing anymore. That was just like early season flukes. So yeah, it's looking good. Banchero's a beast. I feel like he willed the team back in, bro. Okay, so oh, sorry, hold on, I didn't repeat the, sorry for the ad. So Banchero was straight up he was destroying the Bulls in the first half. I don't know what the heck the Bulls were trying to do in the first half against Banchero, but the game plan wasn't great. I will say though, that fourth quarter by Banchero was not him. That just wasn't him. I don't know if he just was exhausted, maybe. He did put up a 50-pointer in his last game, so maybe that's what it was happening. But I mean, he was straight up just missing shots. Like this three right here, like he was wide open for this shot. So I don't really know what happened there. Third quarter, you know, you made a few shots, but the Bulls really slowed him down compared to the first half, right? Where he was getting everything inside and just continuously getting to the free throw line. So I'm gonna give Pat credit because I don't think he did a good job necessarily overall, but he continued just to put in the work and make Banchero work the entire game. And honestly, I think Banchero was fatigued at the end, hence why he airballed that shot. That was like a pretty open 3-point shot. So I'm gonna give Pat credit for this one. It was not the greatest game from Pat or anything, but I do think that he deserves some credit. When did Zach pick up the shoulder injury? I can't tell, honestly. I don't know when Zach picked it up. So Zach drove into Wendell Carter Jr. Wendell blocked a shot, and then Zach kind of like flexed his wrists or something. And then kind of after that, it seemed like Zach was kind of nursing the shoulder. But I think Zach might have had it, like maybe something happened earlier in the game. So I think we're gonna hear from Zach. Maybe he'll give an explanation when the shoulder thing happened. So we'll pay attention to that. Patrick stepped in the second half. Yeah, I think honestly this might be Patrick's best offensive game overall. I know the Bucks game is pretty solid too in terms of just an overall game. Like, I think that was like the best game overall for Pat. But offensively, I think this was the best game for Pat. And I know it's not much, but he finally kind of just did what I wanted to do, which is just take 3-point shots consistently in the second half. He had only 1 point in the first half, but he had 9 points in the second half, and he hit that clutch 3. So I'm just gonna say that this is probably like, hopefully we're seeing more of this moving forward. But it's been a rough season already for Pat, but it's a good game here. So I'm hoping it just kind of builds off of this moving forward. Yeah, so yeah, Bray, I don't know if Zach, if that was when he got, like, I very could clearly see when Wendell blocked it, like his arms then came down and like he hit Zach like here in like the forearm. So I don't know if that did it, like maybe that pulled Zach's shoulder a little bit, but I'm wondering if there was an issue earlier in the game, because Zach didn't look like amazing even before that shot, so, or that block shot by Wendell. So I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what happened. But Zach got 10 rebounds still, even though he wasn't his offensive self. So give him credit for that, I guess. Yeah, ugly win. That was the most disgusting one ever. We are probably have to be real bad to keep this pick, as this team is going to make the playoffs, barring a Zach trade. So here's what I'm thinking. So first and foremost, this team completely overachieved my expectations of them for the first 5 games. So props to this team, honestly, because I did not think that this team is gonna go 3-2 in the first 5 games. I had them going 1-4, and so the fact that they got to this point is pretty shocking. However, though, I'm gonna point out a couple things where I'm gonna go ahead and probably say that they don't, unless Zach gets traded, right? I'm gonna go ahead and say that they're gonna surpass my 31 win total that I predicted at the start of the season, just because of these 3 games that they have won early on. However, I am still not on the train of like, hey, we're gonna suddenly be like over 500. So I'll make this clear. I'm now thinking more towards like 36 wins ish, 35-ish wins. But there's a couple of things that we need to keep in mind. So first and foremost, again, coming into tonight's game, the Bulls were still giving up over 120 points per game for their opponent. Like, they were still like bottom 3 defensively in terms of points per game. So I know this is, I guess, like a good performance defensively tonight, I guess, but I don't really think this was that great. The first half, they gave up over 60 points, so that wasn't a good half defensively in the first half. And then that fourth quarter happened, and neither team could shoot. So I don't know what we want to kind of classify this as, but I guess holding a team to 99 is good. But knowing that fourth quarter happened, I don't really chalk it up as great defensively. The Bulls also now, in 2 of their 3 wins, have come back from 20 points in both of them. So you can look at it 2 ways, which is that, one, this Bulls team is very good at coming back into games, and they're going to be a very good comeback team, and they're never out of a game. Or you can look at it as this team is consistently getting themselves down by 20 points in pretty much in every loss, in pretty much in every single game. The Bulls have started slow, so they've consistently had slow starts. They get down by 20 points in 2 of their 3 wins, and yet they somehow have come back and won back-to-back games being down by 20 points, and they're the first team to do it since 2001, which is just not, like, again, it's just something that is not feasible to do at the entire season. So I don't really know which way to take it as, which is this team is just starting out so bad and then they kind of regress back to the mean, or they're just getting kind of catching fire in some of these games in the second half and they kind of figure themselves out. I think, for example, the Milwaukee Bucks game and the Memphis Grizzlies game, those were games where I'm kind of thinking, well, they caught fire, they, hit all their threes, they won those games because they hit 25 threes or more. The defense was still garbage, but they still, they kept up with the pace and they hit all their shots. They were just on fire. Props to them. I don't think that's going to continue. However, I think tonight, though, is one of those wins where this seems more legit, because this is I guess, again, a better defensive performance in a sense. But it's not like the Bulls won because of their three-point shooting tonight. The Bulls won because they just stayed in the game the entire game. So I think this is kind of the reason why I'm shifting my win total, I guess, expectation now, because this seemed like a more convincing game than like that Memphis game. That Memphis game, again, no John Morant, but the Bulls just caught fire. They were down by 20 in the first half. They looked awful in that first half, and then they just couldn't miss. This game seemed more like, yeah, we were down by 20, but like we stayed in the game. Defensively, it was pretty bad at the very beginning. Don't think it got much better in the second quarter, but in the third quarter it turned up. And the Magic finally started to miss some shots. And I guess maybe the fatigue for the Magic just kind of set in. I'm not entirely sure, but this was a much better grinded out, hey, we're like an actual team that can stay in tough games type of game. And I give them a lot of credit for that, because I did not think they would be winning these types of games this year. So this to me is a more convincing win than the other two wins that the Bulls have gotten, because in both those other wins they give up over 120 points and they still won the game because they hit over 25 threes. So I'll go ahead and say that they've already kind of shown me that I'm probably wrong already at the start of the season. So props to them. But still, I'm not going to just get out of my head that we've been the opponents have been averaging over 120 points per game. It's coming into this game. So there's that. Now, other thing to keep in mind, because I think there's a little bit of oh wow, we beat some actual good teams, right? So let me just say this: we lost to the Pelicans, which to me this loss still doesn't make much sense, because if they go on and win some of these other games, but anyway, you lost to the Pelicans. They didn't have Zion. I'm personally having the Milwaukee Bucks on fraud watch right now. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like the Bucks look like they're on frauds. Like their window is closed. Like I don't know what the hell happened there. But it's early. It's just they don't look great. Absolutely got wrecked by Oklahoma City, which I think is expected. And second game of back-to-back, you somehow win in Memphis when you're down by 20, but then you caught fire and won this game. No John Morant though, and then tonight I think was kind of like the first hey, we're like an actual team type win. So it's very just like Western Conference, we get absolutely wrecked except against for Memphis, So I don't know, man. I can't tell with this team, which basically means that we're probably heading towards close to a 500 record, which is not great. And so now, of course, what's going to happen is that they're going to go and lose to Brooklyn. Because that's what this team does, is that they're going to go and lose to Brooklyn now. Because that's the Bulls' way of doing things. Right when you think that this team is like, oh yeah, we're gonna actually be solid, we're gonna go and lose to Brooklyn. Just to make things even more confusing. So I don't think what the Bulls overall have done in the first 5 games, just to win 3 of them, is sustainable. You're not gonna stay over 500 with the way that the Bulls have won these games. Again, 2 20-point comebacks. 3 games where you've given up over 120 points. The other game you give up 118 or whatever. That's not gonna work. That's just not gonna work moving forward to win these games. However, they've stayed in some of them, so I'm just gonna kind of see what happens. We have also, in my opinion, have not faced some of the better teams still in the league, so I'm gonna kind of wait on some of this other stuff before I'm gonna say, hey, we're like an actual playoff team, or I say that we're officially in the play-in. But I'm just gonna kind of wait on this. because there's a lot of signs that point that this Bulls team should not continue winning like they have moving forward. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to find where did I leave out? Oh, so it happened tonight because Stacey said he was nursing an injury. I thought he played injured anyways. No, the Levine injury definitely happened tonight. I don't know when it happened, but it happened tonight for sure. They make more sense why Zach took so many shots he took when he's clearly affected by the shoulder injury. I personally didn't have much of an issue. I mean, Zach took 9, which is much lower than what he usually takes. So if he's nursing a shoulder injury, I think that him taking 9 is fine. Giddy got more than him. Like, he basically took the same amount of shots as Pat. Like, I'm not going to complain about that, personally. Like, deep threes, I mean, he took that one deep three that he airballed, but that's like the only one that you can maybe have an issue with. Even then, I thought it was a fine shot. I mean, he got the switch. He did a step back, and it was like, yeah, I'm fine with it either way. Because, like, if you're gonna complain about Zach's step back 3 that he airballed, then you gotta complain about Kobe White's logo 3 that he took then. Which I've said it. I'm not gonna complain about either of those shots. Like, I think those are fine. I think because like this is where I always tell people that it's like you can't always be critical of one person and then completely just ignore everything that another person does. Like, Kobe took multiple threes that were either contested or were extremely deep. So you can't just be like, oh, well, Zach took some threes that you didn't agree with and you're upset at him, but then you don't say anything about Kobe. Like, Kobe legitimately took like a logo 3 tonight, and no one said anything about that. No, like, Stacey King didn't say anything about it. He's just like, that's deep. Like, sure, yeah. So I'm not gonna be that concerned. Like, I'm fine with them taking those shots, especially if it's like, if they think they got a switch and they just want to catch the defense off guard, do it. Because the Bulls have been burned by those types of threes many times before. Tyrese Halliburton shot, De'Aaron Fox shot. Like, the Bulls have been killed by like logo 3s. So you might as well start catching up to the rest of the league, right? Zach struggled to catch a few passes the first quarter, so he was off early as. So the one pass that Giddy threw slightly out of bounds, that was like the cut. I think Giddy threw it behind him, actually. Like, the ball spun weird, and like Zach like caught it like this. So there was that one, I guess you could say, but I will say Zach didn't look like exactly in rhythm to start the night. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I am softening my take, I guess. Sorry, I'm catching up on chat here. Thugs and Blacks big good. Yeah, they did. Going on, Rob, sorry. What's up? I'm just popping. I'm gonna come back later, but I just wanted to talk about that play they ran in the fourth quarter. It was nice to see, but only got free throws out of it. You have to be more specific which play it was, Rob. Sorry. Bulls shot a lot of free throws in that fourth quarter, so you have to be more specific. I mean, really high Anthony Black since his draft. Cool to see him play well. Yeah, I don't exactly know. So one of my best friends is a huge Magic fan. So I've been talking with him a little bit about Anthony Black. Anthony Black seems like he's just becoming like a role, like a I guess more of like a Derek White type role player, where he's like a hyper good role player. So I don't really know what the thought process is with him, because it kind of seems like Suggs is the point guard now, and I guess like the other point would be Franz if he's healthy, right? So that's kind of like what they're rolling with moving forward, but I don't know what Anthony Black's going to become, honestly. But I do like him. But he has a ways to go, I will say for sure. Speaking with my Magic friend, he tells me a lot when it comes to this. Magic dropped the Walking Kessler over Dale and Terry. Yeah. We'll never get over that. Bucks are having the Doc of Rivers effect. Yeah. Nets beat the Bucks. Yeah. The Nets also almost beat Denver. So it's like, I don't really know what to take of some of these games so far, which is the reason why I'm saying it's early still. Like, the Bulls are 3-2, so props to them. Like, they've surprised me with their record now. I'm just like, it's so early that I'm just gonna like not, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, we're winning 45 games this season, because I'm sure those people are feeling amazing right now. They're like, oh my, see, I said the Bulls are gonna win 45 games this year, which I still have my doubts personally. But if you said that, props to you. I did not think we'd start 3-2. But it's still only 5 games, and I think the Bucks are frauds right now. Like, I'm dead honest right now. Yeah, so pretty much, like I said, we're gonna lose to Brooklyn. Just because that they've been playing really well. Brooklyn's overachieving too. Schroeder's playing like Olympics now. He is getting to be featured more. Yeah, that's also happening. Cam Thomas is being a scorer. Ben Simmons is actually playing, so there's that for them. Bucks like Gary Trent and Prince being your best perimeter defenders could win them a chip. Yeah, I won't lie. I'm definitely concerned about it. Now, still though, the one thing that the Bucks have in their back pocket is Chris Middleton. Like, that's the one thing that they're like praying to God, like, he's gonna come back, he's gonna look great, and I guess he's gonna have to play better defense than he used to play in the past. So that's kind of their saving grace, honestly, is that Chris Middleton comes back and like he's like all-star Chris Middleton. I have doubts about that. I don't know if he's gonna ever be all-star Chris Middleton again, but I'm hoping that they can figure something out, but we'll see. Because if they don't, then I think Doc Rivers' coaching tenure needs to get the hell on out of here, because he is a very questionable coach, and it's just continuing to look worse as this team goes on. Let's see here. Sorry, hold on. The chat's going. I have a lot. I want to read every message, but I can't. And so I do apologize about this. Okay, so this is the team that Orlando will put out there for the next couple of years because all the contracts. This is a good test, and then we will see when we play Orlando again. I still think though that Orlando like has a lot of room to grow. That's the only thing. Like I think Orlando, like, as much as like, oh yeah, like this is like, hey, we won tonight. I still think they have room to grow. I really do. Like I think Anthony Black and Jet Howard are two guys that are still unproven. Franz has a ways. Like, I mean, like he's had a nice year. He had a nice year last year, but like there's some stuff that's like, he still needs to kind of get through. Banchero's obviously becoming the superstar that we all thought he could become, so props to him. But even him, I would say that he has some like growth to do. They also did have Badadze tonight. He wasn't available tonight. That's a guy that I think could be helpful for this team moving forward. Tristan Da Silva is a guy that they just drafted. Like they have a lot of guys, so it's like, I don't know if I want to use the Magic as a measuring stick just yet, because I think that they're always going to be getting better, if that makes sense. I feel like Matas looks slow. Is it just me? I don't think Matas has looked too slow, in a sense. I think what's happening right now in Matas is that he looks like the game is going too fast for him at the moment. I'm seeing mostly on offense where he just seems to not know what the possession is supposed to, like, what's supposed to happen. He's kind of looking just to kind of pass it a lot more than I thought he would. So I think that's what's kind of happening. We'll see about the defense, because like I know that, Britt, you're saying that you think Matas can't close out quick enough. I don't personally think that's too much of an issue at the moment, but that's just my opinion overall. We'll see, moving forward though how he works it out, because I'm just upset that Donovan isn't playing anymore. Like, I feel like this is the sort of game that he has to play in, and he only got 4 minutes tonight, and like this is without Ball, without Jalen Smith. Like, you have to play this guy. I don't know why he's not getting more minutes, and the fact that Torrey Craig came in the fourth instead of him was pretty disappointing in my opinion. What's going on, Viper Strike? Who were the standouts? I think it's between White, Giddey, and Desuma were the standouts tonight, so major props to these guys. Wish Bailey could get Taylor Horton Tucker in the rotation instead of Dalen Terry. Terry seems like off his liability, but he could do everything else. Wish Terry could shoot and score. But yeah, it's honestly an offense for defensive switch between Horton Tucker and Terry. Horton Tucker is a very good ball handler and, a little bit more of a reliable shooter, right? The problem is though, is that I think what people don't understand is Horton Tucker is only 6'4". Like, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember his basketball reference correctly, but like, I'm not saying that Horton Tucker's like a bad defender by any means, but he is just smaller. Like, he's a smaller guy at the end of the day. So I think what Billy is going with is just that he knows Terry's like physical tools and his defensive capabilities are just more effective than Horton Tucker's. So he's rolling with that for now, which that's fine. I'm fine with him rolling with Terry and getting him minutes. I think that's overall good. I think though we're kind of getting our answer about Terry though. Like we're finally kind of seeing like he's kind of just the like he can be like a Matisse Thybulle in a sense, if that makes sense. But he's a better passer than Thybulle, but I don't know if he's ever going to be anything else. Because his offensive game is too limited, like you're saying, Christopher. Honestly, if I'm going to be real, I think that I would much rather just have Terry out there and just see what he can do instead of Horton Tucker, because I know what Horton Tucker can do. I guess honestly I didn't know what he could do before the preseason, but I would rather just kind of see what we have in Terry right now, and I think Billy's done that. So I'm going to give props to Billy. I see Giddy getting some good 3-point games. This is what I was hoping to see. I hope it's consistent. Yeah, I mean Giddy right now is shooting like over 50% from 3 Viper Strike. So yeah, this has been one hell of a start to the season. Again, he will regress back to the mean at some point, but yeah, it's been very good to start the year for Giddy. It's still don't have the totals. This is only in 4 games. So I'm just interested to see what happens when he starts to regress back, right? What is he become like 32% 3-point shooter again, or is he gonna become like a 37% 3-point shooter? Because if Josh Giddey like races his 3-point percentage by 5% this season, like Peter Patton needs like the biggest raise in the world. Like that man, like the Bulls better keep that man like forever. Because suddenly now we got like Julian Phillips is like a better shooter. IL fixes shooting woes. Like I mean, like if Giddey suddenly becomes a really good shooter, Peter Patton better stay with this team forever, because he's very clearly figured out something. And I don't know what he's done with Giddey's release so far. It still looks pretty slow to me, so there's that. But Giddey's shooting that thing with confidence right now, and I'm happy to see it. It just needs to like be, you know, keep shooting it at a consistent rate, and he's also shooting at catch and shoot shots. So this is good. Boston Frog Magic is legit. I didn't see it when you beat good hungry teams. I think it's the best sign because these guys take games off to settle. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Duncan's getting too popular. I don't know about that yet, but I do appreciate the support, guys. Gotta start banning folk. Consolidate the chat now. I don't really ban people. Also, YouTube's banning features don't really exist, if you didn't know. Yeah, you can time out people, but you can't really ban people. So yeah. I was Howdy Mitchell in the preseason. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna try to like come to any sort of conclusions with Buzelis, because he's only getting like 3 to 4 minutes of play right now. And I know that we're kind of judging off those 3 to 4 minutes, but it's just a little hard. So if Buzelis goes out to the G League, first off, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. I think that's a pretty stupid thing to do. But I'm hoping at some point he gets some more playing time, because this is just ridiculous. Again, I don't know what Donovan's gonna have in mind, but maybe the Zach LaVine train needs to come sooner for him to get some minutes. I don't think he has to be good at shooting threes. He just has to hit 36% off open shots. They play him enough for spacing and passing lanes. Well, I mean, my thing is with Giddey is I would much rather, if he still can't finish at the rim, which he's still having his issues right now, then I need him to be good at hitting threes. Like, whether that's off the dribble or catch and shoot, he needs to hit those threes. So I personally would rather him be better at shooting threes than 36% and like just only hitting open shots, because then it will truly allow him to be just a playmaker, just to hit the 3-point shot consistently. But yeah, I'm hoping that's gonna stick, unless somehow he fixes his finishing, because I still don't think his finishing's up to par yet. It needs to get better. So if he hits the threes, then we'll be better moving forward. Carroll's fits the pace. He does. That was a high defensive stance. Tyball has the highest steals per minute in the league for a season by a long margin. Well, I think Terry can honestly do that. Like, I'm being real. I think Terry has the physical tools and the defensive IQ to be that sort of like Bible type defender. I really do. The problem again though is that offensively, I don't know what he is. Like, he can't shoot it. he's gotten better at handling the basketball right now. I'm seeing his better handles, but it's not like turning into anything. He can't finish at the rim right now. Like, I mean, we saw in that fast break where Giddey threw it to him on the fast break, and he tried to. It is Jonathan Isaac at the end of the day, but like the layup wasn't even close on the contest. And I don't know what Terry is after that. Like, he's like a one-sided player, and right now, with how the Bulls want to play faster, because he's such a good on-ball defender and can put pressure, it speeds up the other team, which is good for the Bulls. So that's his value right now. Defense, guys talk about it all the time. Like, if you play defense, you see the floor, that's happening. Like, he being a good defender, he's seeing the floor. It's just that I don't know what he is on offense right now. So, I mean, this is year 3 now for Terry, so there's, I guess, time. But to me, he's gonna have to like become like a Julian Phillips, where like with Julian Phillips, I know Julian Phillips can't really put the ball on the floor. So Phillips is strictly just a 3-and-D player. Like, he is strictly a 3-and-D player. He's a good defender, and he shoots 3-point shots, and then like, he's pretty athletically above the rim. With Terry, it's like, I don't trust you to make a layup, so you're gonna have to become a 3-and-D player too if you're gonna want to see consistent minutes on any sort of team. And so he's gonna have to find a way to knock down the 3-point shot consistently, or else I don't know, man. I worry about him moving forward, because he's kind of like this tweener player still, because people talk about him playing point guard before. Yeah. Even Giddey wasn't in Chicago until next season. It's like his offseason coach that made a difference, most like a gameplay / confidence. I mean, sure, I'm gonna give like Giddey's offseason coach and everything that Giddey's worked on. Like, I'm gonna give them credit too. But from what Casey Johnson has said, like, Giddey and Peter Patton have been seriously working since Giddey has arrived in Chicago. And I don't think that's a fluke, honestly. If what we're looking at now is like, some serious like progression in terms of shooting, and we're looking at multiple Bulls guys that have done better, then I have to make sure Patton gets his shout out, because this is a limited amount of time, and I feel like he's figured out something. So interested to see, again, like, we just have to see how Giddey does. Like, does he regress back too far, or does he stay in good ground on the 3-point shot? And while also, I should also say, he needs to continue shooting at a high volume. If he only like shoots 1 to 2 per game and he's still shooting like 40%, like, that's nothing. Like, he needs to still shoot, close to 5 a game, and still hit a decent chunk. Yeah. Watching the highlights before I hear you take. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on Giddey. Yeah. Nidji. So with Giddey, yeah, this was insane to watch. Like, Giddey became Steph Curry in tonight's game. So Giddey is shooting over 50% to start the season. I can't believe what we're watching, honestly. But if Giddey can continue doing, like, shooting well from 3-point range, it just helps him become an overall complete player, on ball and off ball. So I'm hoping this just continues, man. Like, if this can continue with Giddey, I'm feeling a lot better about the Giddey, I guess, experiment than I was feeling like even like 3 days ago. Again, he's not going to shoot over 50% from 3-point range for here on out. So if he just be a consistent 3-point shooter, he's shooting a lot of catch and shoot threes that are going down. So I'm happy he's hitting those, and to see him hit a pull-up 3 in transition was very good to see. So if he just can find a way to like hit those consistently, then suddenly now then I'm feeling like, yeah, it's fine to run the offense through him now. Have him be the engine to this entire team. And I'm really hoping that this can continue. And I'm happy to see it. Few modern players have good pivot footwork, so they don't know how to spin out of traffic when upset comes, so there's no immediate kick out. Some of the stars have it, but the others don't. Matt Skizzy, what is that in response to? I'm so sorry. We've been talking a lot in the stream. Few modern players have good pivot footwork, so they don't know how to spin out of traffic when upset comes, so there's no immediate kick out. Some of the stars have it, but the others don't. I mean, I would agree with you I think there's a lot of emphasis now, like, to just go out and score the ball. So there's not like, oh, let's kick it out to the, to the other side. Right? If that's what you're talking about, because I don't know if we're talking about a specific player. Hey, we're 5th in rebounds. Never thought I'd see the day. That's actually shocking. Are we actually 5th in rebounds? I actually want to look at that. Those were 1st in rebounds, actually. I don't know if this should be updated now. I think. Yeah, this is all 5 games. So yeah, we're 1st in rebounds, actually. That's crazy to look at. So yeah, I'm hoping that this continues. Glass half empty here. Sorry, Gary. I think I'm just being more realistic. So if you think it's glass half empty, sure. But I think I've been pretty fair when it comes to Giddey. And I think also that me just saying that I think Peter Patton, if he's figured this out, is pretty good for Giddey moving forward is me also not being glass half empty. So if you don't enjoy the stream, you have every right to leave. So I apologize if you think that's an issue here. There's lots of guys such as Terry and Giddey and others driving in traffic having no way to make a play. Obviously, they turn over and miss the layup. Oh, I see what you're saying. I gotcha. Well, the problem with Terry is that I don't think he has any chance of making a layup. Like, it's not like, oh, he gets to the rim and then, he just didn't finish it. It's like he's going to the rim and he's out of control. So I don't really understand what Terry's going to be doing moving forward. Was Giddey still really young? Well, yeah. I mean, the thing with Giddey that, like, I understand when people have told me about the young argument. My only thing is that the only thing he can do is get stronger. Like, he's not gonna get more athletic. That's like the only thing. Like, I always tell people that, like, yeah, like Giddey's young, but he's not gonna get more athletic. That's the reason why I'm like, I think he needs to find a 3-point shot, because I don't think his finishing is gonna get like incrementally better, because he's not gonna gain athleticism. Again, he can get stronger, but I don't know how much stronger he wants to get as a 6'8" guy. So I think that's the reason why, like, if he can be a good 3-point shooter, like, then it opens up everything. I have plays to show you where his 3-point shot, because there was suddenly a threat in this game. It's like, oh wow, this is the next step of, like, teams are so worried about his 3-point shot off the pick and roll that it opens up others now, because he is such a threat suddenly. That's what I'm hoping to see moving forward with Giddey, and I'm happy with, again, I'm very happy with what he's done so far. I just, I look at the stats in the back of the card though, and I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen moving forward? Because, like, even with Vooch, for example, like, I'm very happy that Vooch is shooting great this season to start the year. I just know what he has shot in the past three seasons, right? So if it's all about with Giddey, that if he can get this 3-point shot and Peter Patton's worked it out, then hey, I'm all for giving Giddey the keys to the car, because now suddenly we have a 3-point threat handling the basketball and make the one out there making the plays, right? That's awesome. I really even taught again. Giddey's a good rebounder, and him it helps a bunch there specifically. He has a niche skill. Well, I think that's part of it, but I also think part of it right now is the Bulls' pace. Because now, if you play faster, then there's going to be more shots attempted by the other team as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to both those guys. The reason why that the Bulls are getting more rebounds now. They're just playing faster. So you're going to have the opposing team just shooting more shots too, and ideally missing more, right? So yeah, major props. Major props to all these guys. I guess rebounds come from playing fast, playing giant guards. Yeah, who knew? Yeah, like exactly what Viper said. He should grow, one of only few players to get the stats he has in the first few seasons. Well, I mean, I'm aware of these stats that Giddey has put up, but I've said it before. The assists and rebounds are great, but I don't really care about those necessarily unless he's putting up 20 a night. Like, I think that there's a decent amount of players in this league that if they really tried, that they'd be able to get like 10 rebounds. And now the thing that Giddey has over people is the passing factor. Like, Giddey is he's a phenomenal passer. So he's able to get these assists, but a lot of these assists just come from him being like, he's you know, I've always said it, like, there's the Draymond Green assists, and then there's the Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic assists. Giddey is one of the best passers to the point where he can find guys that are like across the court and they're open and he'll get them the ball. But he didn't personally create the open shot, right? So Giddey is gonna get these assists this way just because of how good of a passer he is. But to me, if he instead becomes a 20-point per game scorer and he's averaging 10 assists because he's creating open shots for others, that's more effective than the stats he's put up, what we've seen so far. Like, that to me is much more valuable than just the stats that he's putting up now or what he's done before. I think that's where it really comes down to, can Giddey become that sort of scorer so that he is such a threat that the defense has to rotate, the defense has to move, so that suddenly someone's getting a catch and shoot 3-point shot because of him being such a good threat on the floor, that the defense is scared, they rotate, and he finds the open guy because he is such a big threat on the floor. He's bending the defense. Right now, like I showed it last game, Giddey had a ton of assists against Memphis, but it wasn't him making the shot, like the open. He wasn't creating an open shot. The guys were just moving well, and he got the assist off of it. And again, he's one hell of a passer. This is not something that everyone can do. But he's able to go out and give guys the basketball at like hard cut areas that, you know, not everyone can go ahead and do that sort of thing. How about Giddey's a Draymond like screen executing a short roll? Yeah, Matt, I don't know if you're new or not, but I've said that, like, see, I mean, I can even pull up. I'll even go into the video review now. Now I'll show you where I've been talking about Giddey being like a Draymond type Green so far for the Bulls, and the Thunder have also done this with them before. Also, by the way, I do apologize. I know Viper Strike, you watched the past the VOD for the past stream. There's like a good 20 minutes cut out because I got copyright striked again from the NBA bot. So I do apologize about that. So hopefully that doesn't happen tonight. Okay, so we're gonna move ahead here, and I'm gonna show you a play where, I mean, it was pretty much like you're pretty much using Giddey as Draymond Green, because what Draymond Green does best is, like, Draymond like is either screening hard for Steph or he's in the post and he's looking to pass, right? At no point does Draymond Green ever look to score in the post. That's just never something that he does. Draymond Green is a one hell of a passer in the post. Hence, that's how he gets his assists. But, like, the others are opening the shots for him. Like, how many times do you think Draymond Green has gotten an assist off of a handoff to Steph Curry? Like, is that him creating an open shot? No, it's Steph Curry being the best shooter of all time and them moving well. That's not Draymond Green bending the defense and like, oh, I opened up Steph Curry for this open 3-point shot. It's him just going like this and assist, right? So here's what I think of when I watch Giddey as like a Draymond Green type player. So this play here is, by the way, if you ever see Patrick Williams bring the ball up the floor, this is probably the set. It's a horn set, okay? And what they do to start off is you bring Giddey to the elbow area. If my Epic pen would show up, please. Thank you. Sorry, did not mean to touch that. Yeah. Okay. We'll do white for the Bulls. No, we'll do red for the Bulls. Okay. So if people is bringing the ball up, this is the play. The play is to get Giddey on like this area here to be a passer. So you're utilizing him in the pinch post area to be a passer in the offense and have everybody else move. So this is just, it's typical. It's down screen, bring Vooch up, and you're gonna see them like kind of go into the horn set here very quickly. So here's horns. Now Giddey's here. So now Giddey is in a spot here where he has the live dribble and he's just looking around to see what what's gonna open up here, what the defense does. Giddey's very good at reading defenses. Like I have full faith that he can read a defense well. It's just, can he take advantage of if he sees an opening? And so here, typically what you see is like Vooch either will set like a little flare screen for Pat. Pat might go down and set a screen for Kobe to come up here. And Pat can like continue going here. So like if Pat gets an open cut to the basket, then Giddey's just boom. I'm gonna throw it in. I'm gonna switch to white. Sorry. So yeah, Pat's gonna move this way. Usually you see a screen by Vooch for Pat. Pat then can either set a screen for Kobe or cut hard to the basket. And if Giddy sees him open, then boom, it's a pass there. Then the other thing that's going to happen here is Zach's a threat, right? We've talked about Zach LaVine's cutting a lot. Zach can either go front door or back door on these cuts. And you're going to see Giddy is going to read this perfectly, where because the other thing that Zach can do is also come up and get the ball, right? But you see the action here starting on the side. So you see Pat moving, and there's the back cut by Zach, and Zach gets fouled. That play, right, like I said, that's not Giddy creating an open shot for Zach. That's Giddy being one hell of a passer. Zach himself got open, and Giddy got him the ball in the correct spot. That's Draymond Green like, right? I can pull up the video for against the Grizzlies and show you this very similar. Actually, hold on. I don't know if actually I can pull that up if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me see here. Okay, oh, there we go. It's gonna be a choppy video just because it's on my external SSD here. So give me a second. We're gonna pull this over. So I mean, it's pretty much again same action here. So same play. Like it's the exact same play. Again, Pat's bringing the ball up. So I'll switch to red here. So this is from the Memphis game. It's Pat brings the ball up, and it's the same action. Down screen, bring Vooch up, horn set, and we run it's the exact same action. So again, this is gonna happen because it's on my SSD. So I do apologize. But here we go. Giddy's in the same spot. Zach's here again. So Zach is just gonna cut front door here, and Giddy gives him the basketball easily and one play opportunity for Zach. Now, what do the Bulls then do on the exact same play down the floor the next time? Oh, sorry, it's not the exact same. The next play. Where is it? Here we go. So they run the same play again earlier. It's not the next play for the Bulls or the next offensive set, but it's the same thing. Okay. Earlier in the quarter, Pat's bringing the ball up, and again horn set. We have horn set immediately. Now instead of Giddy looking to Zach this time to either go front door or back door, right? You have P-Will and Vucevic. They're gonna both come down here and set 2 pin downs for Kobe White to come off of, right? So it's same action, it's the exact same play, but then it's whatever we call option B or whatever you want to call it. It's just a different showing of the exact same set, and Kobe gets an open look off this because of the pin down set. Hence, then the 3-point shot goes in. So this is an effective set already that Billy has figured out, because you're putting Giddy in a spot where that you're allowing him to be like himself as a passer. You're putting him where he is using his best skill set, which is his passing. You're then allowing both Kobe and Zach to either be the shooters or cutters, right? And then you have Patrick Williams and Nikola Vucevic screening. And if at any point the defense messes up on the screens, both of them can just cut hard towards the rim, and Giddy can find him for an open layup. So it's good action. My only thing though is that what I've said about this sort of action though is that if I was the opposing team, I'm making Giddy beat me. So instead of instead of playing him up close, right, on that sort of play, I'm like backing up. I'm daring you to shoot the 3-point shot, and yeah, I'll let the other guys run the action, but I dare him to shoot the 3-ball. That's the reason why I'm like, if Giddy can just be a good 3-point shooter consistently, which again he's done it so far to start the year, then it opens up everything. Because then suddenly now it's like if they back off of Giddy, then he's just gonna make the 3-point shot. That's the thing when it comes to the 3-point shooting with Giddy, and that's why I want that more than or I think it's more of a priority than him being able to be finishing at the rim consistently. By the 3-point game, if Giddy can become a guy that can post other guards efficiently, can unlock his game that way also. I mean, I've also thought about that. My only issue with that sort of idea is, yet again, is you're asking Giddy to finish effectively over guys, which I just don't know if he's able to right now. And I don't know if he ever will. So I think it's an idea for sure. If Giddy can get that, then oh my god, the amount of things that I can think of that you can run with Giddy being a post player, because that the post up with a guard is basically dribble penetration without having to dribble, right? But it's just you yourself have to be a really good post up scorer for that to be effective. I've talked about this a lot on the channel, that posting up a player that is not good in the post is not effective. I know Vooch hit some shots tonight from the post, but he also missed some shots. And I don't think the Bulls need to continue giving him the ball in the post in the end. But yeah, like a Jokic or Embiid, you obviously post up those guys because they're the best in the world at it. But a Vucevic right now, I don't know about Giddey necessarily down there. I have my concerns about him finishing in the post, so there's that concern. But if he's able to get it worked out, then great, awesome. I just think that he really needs to just work on his finishing to really figure this out. That's a newish, gotcha. Welcome in, Matt. Appreciate you being here. Josh is the only player in NBA history to score triple-double at the Gardens in his first 3 games there. That is impressive, actually. Yeah. I think 20 with 7 wins still. I mean, I said 31, Rozzy. So if you, I don't know if you guys saw my video, but I did say 31. Right now I'm not thinking it. I'm thinking more 35, 36. But I'm not saying over 500 yet, because I think there's teams that this team still needs to play. Specifically out west. This team needs to play more like some out west teams to kind of I need to go look at. Yeah, where all these wins are so close. Yeah, I mean it's the Bulls formula right now, which is go down by 20 and then you come back and like you just play a close game after. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. LeBron has racked up all these non-creating assists over his career as well. Oh, for sure. LeBron, like especially as he's gotten older, he's just puts himself in the post, right? LeBron does it a lot where he'll just kind of just stand there at the post for like 10 seconds, and because he's LeBron James though, he's able to like his just gravity creates open shots, so he's able to do that, right? LeBron is just LeBron, and he's gonna be able to do that sort of thing. But again, though, we know LeBron can go out and score 27 a night. I don't know if Giddey can score 20 a night. Right now, it's looking pretty good for Giddey, but I think he needs to go on and figure out a way to score 20 a night. And an argument for Giddey, in my opinion, is that Zach wasn't cutting before when Io and Kobe were running point. I don't think Zach was unable to cut. It's just he didn't trust them to find an effect. They all look more active without ball. I think that's a trust of Giddey and Lonzo. Oh, for sure. I look, Viper Strike, this is not me saying that like, hey, Giddey's like so limited that, you know, this is like, you know, guys were able to cut before and they just, you know, whatever, and they didn't. I agree. I think Giddey and Lonzo are the only 2 players that can effectively use that sort of backdoor cut with Zach on this roster. I don't think Kobe and I don't think Kobe and Io or anybody else on this team can make that sort of pass. Having that sort of pass or having that ability to pass like that is a very good skill. It's a very useful skill. Hence then like why Draymond Green's so effective. Why is he the one, you know, kind of running the offense in a sense with the Warriors, like of being that sort of hub, right? Think about what Joakim Noah did, like in his MVP year, like, or you know, 4th in MVP voting for the Bulls in like I think it was 2014, where like it's very similar, right? Like Joakim is like playing the elbow area and he's like one of the best passing centers in the league, and he's just finding guys backdoor consistently. That's a very effective it's a very effective skill, and yeah, this sort of thing absolutely helps guys like Zach and others. But my point is still is like that's not like fully running the engine to the car. That's you being one hell of a passer. I just need you to then be able to also like really bend the defense too, because we've talked about it. Like Giddey wants to have the ball in his hands a lot. He wants to be the decision maker, and that requires you to not just be a good passer. You also have to be an effective scorer too. Hence, then you'd be able to bend the defense consistently. Is Levine's shoulder injury on his shooting arm or non-shooting arm? It's on his non-shooting arm. It's his left shoulder. I'll look at Casey Johnson's Twitter in a second here to get more info. That's where we know a player is pass first. You're not as worried about ruining his space by cutting in this way because you know he wants to pass. I mean, yeah, I think everyone knows that both Lonzo and Giddey are very, very willing passers. But how many? Like, let me ask you this question, okay? when's the last time you have seen a pass first point guard, like a point guard that is like averaging 10 and 10, right, win the championship? Like, I'm just being honest, right? Like, I this whole like pass first point guard, and like, I know a lot of people, this is where I still think that some Bulls fans are just like stuck in 90s still. I understand that there's a lot of people that love the pass first point guard. They think it's like a very good thing because that's what they were taught, like, you know, learning basketball at a young age, that the point guard's the passer. The point guard's supposed to be the captain on the floor to get guys involved in everything. But let's be honest, when's the last time a pass first point guard won the championship? Like, and I'm talking like a pass first point guard that is like running the offense in a sense. You know, Chris Paul's never won it, right? Steve Nash never won it. John Stockton never won it. So I'm talking about when it comes to Giddey, I don't need him to be a pass first point guard. I need him to be an effective playmaker. I need to be an effective scorer as well as bringing his passing ability, right? Like that's what I need from Giddey. I don't need pass first point guard. Like, I don't need him to go out and average 10 and 10. I need him to go out and average 20 and 10. That it will be more effective to help win a championship than him going out and averaging like 14 and 10, or let's just put it like 14 and like 12 or whatever. Like that, I need him to be the scorer too, for him to be an effective guy on the ball. So I know it's like, we're gonna have this talk like all season long, and I understand, but for the people that want Giddey to really succeed, right? This is what I'm talking about. Like, we have to make sure that we can't just be like, oh, we're settling for him to average 16 and 12 for the rest of his career. Like, that's not enough. Like, if he wants the keys to the car, he needs to average 20 and 10. Or, you know, I don't even need 10 assists. I need like 20 and 8. I think that's more effective. OKC was also down by 20 comebacks last season. I mean, yeah, they're one of the best teams in the league. Are we gonna say that about the Bulls right now? 76ers lost to the Pistons. No Embiid. I'm not shocked, honestly. 76ers are struggling. CP3 would have won if not for some bad luck, but he used to be able to shoot that thing like crazy. Well, I mean, even CP3 is a bad example because back in his his prime days, he's averaging 20 and 12, right? So like, if CP3 needed a bucket, I know CP3 could go get me a bucket. With Josh Giddey right now, I don't know if he can go get me a bucket right now consistently. Like tonight, I think he can. He's hitting a 3-point shot. But other nights, I don't know. That's my big thing. 50 and 10, I'd be happy, but he's pretty much already done that, Rozzy, and I don't think that's a good enough player, right? They give a pass first point guard, the surrounding personnel fits depending on team structure. Okay, well, give me one that you're telling me that a pass first point guard that has had that it's like a big part of the offense. Like, he's running the offense, right? But is a pass first point guard that is easily giving you 10 assists per game and doesn't average 20 points per game that won the championship then. Because that's what we're saying that Giddey's, like, people are telling me that 15 and 10, 16 and 10 will work. I'm like, okay, sure. Go and find me a point guard that has done that then. It's not a thing. Because the pass first point guards in this league are basically not point guards. They're the two, right? That it's not a thing. And again, I'm talking about a point guard that is running the offense consistently. That they're the pass first point guard, but they really don't look to score. They're running the offense consistently. I mean, the best person you can honestly go to is Rajon Rondo, right? That's like the best. That's the best comparison. Do you think we won the Giddey AC trade at this moment? No, I still don't. I think the Bulls should have gotten more. Like, no matter what, I'm always gonna say the Bulls should have gotten more. If Giddey, right, like, it's gonna be coming down to, like, if he becomes an all-star, then sure, I guess they won this championship with him. Works more when you have a system that thrives on off-ball movement, not entirely pick and roll, 5-out drive and kick. Well, Matt, that's the system that Giddey's in now. So that's the system you gotta win in today. Jason Kidd, yeah, that's a pretty good one too, I guess. But Jason Kidd was also one hell of a defender. So, you know, Giddey needs to kind of figure that part out. I see him being a star and a long-term effective player in this league. Well, that's what I'm also saying though. Because to me, in my opinion, if you're going to only go out and average 15 and 10, you're not going to stay in this league. Like, you're not going to be a long-term effective player. You're not going to find success. You need to, because again, this is assuming that you're getting the 10 assists off of that. You're running the team a lot, right? But if you're the guy with the basketball a lot and you have 10 assists, but you're only giving me 15 points a night in today's era, right? Especially in today's era, why would I give you the ball? There's so many other better options. If I have a 25 point per game scorer on my team, I'm giving him the ball more often than I'm giving you the ball. I don't care if you're averaging 15 and 10. So that's why I'm saying for Giddey, I don't need him to be an all-star. I'm saying though 20 and 8, Jamal Murray can go and average 20 and 8. He'll never be an all-star. Mike Conley, you can even say, like, guys that are very good point guards that have pretty good numbers, they never were an all-star. So I'm not saying he needs to be an all-star. I'm just saying that if he's going to run the keys to this car, he needs to go on average at least 20 points a night. To me, I've said for this year, he needs to average 18. Then I'm feeling confident that he can get up to 20 as he, continues to progress. But if he's only stuck at 16 though, then I don't know what we have. Like, I have a okay scorer that needs the ball in his hands to be effective. Unless he's going to start shooting the 3-point shot consistently, then I think that we have other options with him where he's not always on ball, where you can put him in the corner and he can still be effective, right? But we don't know if that's going to continue happening. That's the big question with Giddey, is can he be that consistent 3-point shooter? But if he's able to figure that out, then we're not talking about him necessarily being like the keys to the car anymore. We're talking about him just being an effective player on the floor. And, at times he'll be running the team. He'll be the initiator of the offense. Because once again, and I'm already seeing that like every stream is going to be about like what do we think about Josh Giddey and like everyone's long-term outlook. This isn't this is going to be the discussion all year long, and I'm fine with it because I think that it deserves this sort of discussion because he is up for contract. Like, he's under a microscope this season. But like I've said, I've been pretty consistent about this, that if he's going to be the guy that runs everything, like he's the main playmaker, he's the main initiator of everything, he has the ball in his hands most of the time, I can't have you be only a 16 point per game scorer and have the ball in your hands all the time. That's just not going to work. Like, I need you to get up to 20. I could be even more, like, I could be much harsher too. I've seen people that say that he needs to go on average 25. Like, he has to be like just under Luka, what Luka does consistently. I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not being that sort of guy. I'm just saying he needs to go out and average 20, because then that to me says he's a legitimate threat to score. So I can put the ball in your hands. He needs catch and shoot game to be better. How much was Lonzo averaging when we were leading the East? Lonzo was averaging 14. But I've always said this about that team. Lonzo was the wing. When the Bulls were winning like that, Lonzo was the wing. Lonzo was the shooting guard. It was DeMar DeRozan that was actually handling the most of the playmaking duties, right? Lonzo wasn't the playmaker for that team. Lonzo was the shooting guard. He's a hell of a passer. He's one of the best players in transition, but he's not playmaking. He's not creating open shots for his teammates. DeRozan was really the point guard in a sense on that roster, with Lonzo being the 3-and-D player, like one of the best 3-and-D players on the court. Like, Lonzo himself, like, this is where Giddey can be better than Lonzo on offensive end. Giddey seems like Giddey can get to the basket, like, much better than Lonzo Ball has ever gotten to the basket. So that's why I'm like, I see a vision for Giddey where he's a consistent inside scorer, where he can consistently attack the paint where Lonzo could, right? That's why, like, if I have to choose between one of the two to like be like the keys to the engine, I'm choosing Giddey, because I see where he can be that sort of scorer. Lonzo is very much just a shooter. Lonzo doesn't score on the inside. I've said this consistently. I've been adamant about this, and especially now with Lonzo's the shooting guard. And I know a lot of people always disagree with me on this, but that team was mostly run by DeRozan. It was DeRozan handling the basketball and making the plays. He was the guy that was drawing to on defense. He was the guy that initiated everything. Lonzo was one hell of a shooter on that roster. He was shooting over 42% and 7 threes a game, and he mostly just shot threes. And yeah, he has great passes, but that's not initiating offense all the time. And so with Giddey, right, this is where I try to tell people, like, if you're gonna try to compare Lonzo and Giddey, you're comparing completely two different players. One player is a fantastic three-point shooter that does not need the basketball to be effective and is also effective on the other end of the court, right? The other player needs the ball in needs the ball in his hands consistently to be effective, and he doesn't shoot. We don't know if he can be a consistent three-point shooter, and he needs the ball in his hands to do everything that he wants to do, right? He also then on the other side of the court is an unproven defender. So you're looking at completely two different players. Lonzo, in my opinion, is very much like the 3-and-D wing that we all see in today's game. Giddey is this sort of like prospect that we're trying to figure out, that is like, okay, are you actually going to be like this point guard? Like, are you going to be running this team, or are you just like an okay sort of player that needs the ball in his hands to be effective, but we don't know, we can't have you be taking shots over others. Fastest shifts of defense creates an opening, something that's as important as the pass that creates an assist. Lonzo excels at knowing where the ball needs to go and spacing / positioning. Yeah, I agree with you, but are you going to put the ball in that guy's hands at the end of a game? Like, this is also the other argument, right? If right now, right, if I have Josh Giddey and a 25-point per game score, who am I giving the ball right now at the end of the game to make the decision, right? I'm not even giving it to Lonzo. As much as Lonzo's great at doing that sort of stuff, I'm talking about straight initiating an offensive set. Who am I giving the ball to right now? Giddey wants to be that guy. So I'm like, okay, if you want to be that guy, I need you to go on average 20. But if right now, for example, if I have Jimmy Butler and Josh Giddey on the same team, I'm giving the ball to Jimmy Butler to initiate the offensive set. Like, that's just how it goes. Because he's the guy that I know can go score. Like, today's era is about, can you effectively be a scorer, like, at all times? That's what today's era is all about. Like, the shooters, like the 3-point shooters of today's era, they don't hold the ball for long. Like, I'm talking about like the Klay Thompsons, like those sort of guys. Like, they don't have the ball a lot in their hands, but yet, yeah, they put up some points because they shoot the ball and they just launch it like that. They don't make decisions a lot with the basketball. They just shoot. But if you want to be this sort of guy that's going to go out and be the keys to the car, then you have to effectively score on your own. It's just how it goes. Every team has that right now. Your number one, number two options, they all have to be extremely good in terms of being able to just score the ball. I don't think he's that kind of good inbounder though, which is why that's the question, right? Which is why I've been saying that I don't know if Giddey can be the guy moving forward. That's the whole question for this year. Now, if he can go and, hit 4 threes a night, awesome. Then, yeah, I think he can go on average 20 and 8. Then, yeah, you can have the ball in your hands. You're going to open up shots for others. You're going to run the offensive effectively. Good. But I don't know. Can he do that? That's the whole question, right? Because let's just use, for example, the Draymond Green example that I've thrown out, and you've said also, Matt. Is it, if at the end of a game, am I giving it to Steph Curry, who has averages less assists than Draymond, who, yeah, like the ball arguably is in Draymond's hands more so throughout the entire game. But who am I going to initiate the offensive set with? I'm going to initiate with Steph. I'm giving the ball to Steph. I'm going to have him run the pick and roll. I'm going to let him make the decision because I know he can go out and be the scoring threat. I'm not going to give it to Draymond and let him try to create. And yes, he's a hell of a passer, but I don't care. Like, I need the guy to have the ball in the hands that is going to go out and give me 30. So it's just this weird sort of mix. And before you say, well, see, you could put Josh Giddey in, with a 30-point per game score like Steph Curry. Well, the problem is that Draymond Green is one of the best defenders ever, and we see Draymond, be one of the best defenders on everywhere around the court. Not to then mention that, like, the dude's won a championship and he plays a completely different position over Steph. It's like Steph's the point guard, Draymond's clearly the forward or center. Giddey's trying to be a point guard, right? And if I have another perimeter player that's averaging 30, then I can't have you both playing the same position. He's a unique role player. Basically, he's a role player with floor general skills instead of wing skills. Then that's his future. Then that's kind of what I was thinking about moving forward. Like, maybe that's what he will become. I'm hoping he doesn't become that. Let me just be clear about this too, because I know that someone said glass half empty in this chat. And, you know, fine. You don't want to say that. I don't care. Oh. I just realized why. So Zayover, I appreciate the frames and everything. I just realized why. I had recording on this entire time. I do apologize about that. Like, I don't want Giddy to become like this role player. I want Giddy to become the star. I want Giddy to become the main engine of this team moving forward. I want him to become extremely good. I'm not here saying that like I don't like Giddy's skill set. I have questions, therefore I don't want him to succeed. I want him to succeed here. I very much want him to succeed here. I just don't know if he will in terms of the role that he's trying to become, right? He wants to become the guy with the ball in his hands. But you already see even in this team that like guys like Levine and Kobe who only average like 5 assists at max in their career, a lot of times they're the ones that have the ball in their hands at the end of a game, or they're the ones that initiate the offensive set because they're the ones that can draw the most defense, like in terms of rotations. But at the end of the day, it's because they're the ones that can score the ball consistently or more consistently than Giddy. I guess Zach more specifically than Kobe, but they're the ones that you trust more that they can get their own shot at any point. I don't know if Giddy can do that. That's the question. If he remains with this skill set, he'll need to be a bench guard long term, probably. I hope not, but that's kind of the problem. Hence why Oklahoma City asked him to come off the bench, right? Because, I mean, if you're OKC, right, you have a guy that in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander who's averaging 30 in 5 or 6 or whatever. So let's just say it's like 30 and 6. It's like, yeah, he's not a pass first point guard, but he's the guy that I want the ball in the hands, right, at the end of a game. You have Jalen Williams, who's clearly the number 2, or I guess even Chet Holmgren's the number 2 technically, but you have Jalen Williams is the other perimeter guy. So you have your 2 guys that are going to be handling the ball the most amount on the perimeter already. So that leaves Giddy to not have the ball. He needs the ball to be effective though. So what do you do with him? It's trying to fit these puzzle pieces together. It's very difficult though. And I've always said this too. Like, do you really want to put your faith in a player where you know that the other pieces around him have to make him better? Like, that's my big like overall like big concern with Giddy. It's like he needs to be in the right system for him to be effective. Well, I'm like, okay, well, I can put Jason Tatum right now in any system. I know he's effective. I can put Giannis in any system. I know he's effective. I can put other stars in certain systems. I know they're going to be effective. With Giddy, you have to build this team like to his standards. So it's a very like hard thing to think about because I don't want to have that restriction. But if he becomes like an all-star, then great. Then we're fine. I don't have to worry about anything. But if he doesn't become an all-star, but we're trying to build a team so that he can have success, it's a scary thought. Want to get better too? He's got to find ways to take advantage of his size to score more and in order defensively. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's going to take, but he's not going to jump higher, right? Gage turn 22. His shot looks a lot better. Next step for his for sure finishing. He gets to the basket a lot. I think he definitely can at least draw a lot of fouls. Yeah, unfortunately, foul drawing is an art. So I don't know if he can necessarily just kind of find that, but yeah, if he can draw more fouls, that'd be fantastic for him. But yeah, it's still a question mark, unfortunately, in my opinion. His lack of athleticism, he has to just learn to hit semi-contested shots in the mid-close range. He has a floater that I just don't trust right now. I don't know why. It probably goes down a decent chunk, but I don't understand. Like unfortunately, I don't trust the floater at the moment. Let me actually go look at this right now because I just want to quickly look at these stats here. So let's see. Okay, so right now, just for this season, right? So again, he's shooting 10 of 17 from 3-point range, which is fantastic, awesome. If this can continue, I'm feeling a lot better about Giddy moving forward because then I know that he can be an off-ball player and we're fine. And he's not like completely ineffective off-ball. He can be a good 3-point shooter, which would be fantastic. But right now, he is shooting 10 of 22 from less than 5 feet. That is bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know that some people are going to be like, wow, that's harsh, Duncan. No, that's just bad. This is just bad. You cannot shoot less than 50% on less than 5-foot shots. That's just the reality of the situation. 5 to 9 feet, you're 4 of 10. That's not great either. Less than 8 feet, you're shooting 43%. Still not good. Restricted area, 45%. In the paint, 45%. Like, we're talking about under 50% in the paint. That's not good. And even right now, you're looking at this, like, you're looking at this is the Lonzo Ball argument I've always had. If you look at Lonzo's assisted versus unassisted made shots, Lonzo has way, like, it is like almost triple what the amount of assisted shots that he has made versus unassisted. But Giddey right now, he has more assisted made shots than unassisted, which is just like, okay. Okay, so jump shot, right now his jump shot is his most effective shot. That is insane. Driving layup, he is 3 for 7. Oh, I guess the little float is actually doing pretty well, but driving floater jump shot is 1 for 6, so that's not good. Pull up jump shot, I don't know if he'll ever be able to make that, honestly. Running layup is 0 for 2. So yeah, you can see that he's still having problems near the rim. Like I talked about this with Patrick Williams too, that Patrick Williams shoots like a horrible percentage in terms of layups. Like he misses so many layups. And for a guy that is 6'7" and has the physical tools to be able to make layups, like you can't miss layups. With Giddey, I think it's a little bit more acceptable because he isn't the most athletic person, but he is big. So he has to find a way to work around with that. And effectively, go out and score inside. Apparently, Giannis fits in every system now with Lillard. Well, okay. Let me make this clear. Giannis is still going out and averaging like 30 a night. So yes, he is still effective in that in the system. The Bucks aren't winning, sure, but I'm saying that Giannis is still going out and still averaging 30 a night. So yes, he is still effective in the Lillard system on offense. Sorry, I guess I wasn't clear about that. I don't know how he didn't develop any of that as unathletic he is, to be honest, because he was coasting off size and passing IQ. I think he was honestly like he is just so used to being bigger than everybody, right? So he can kind of get away with some things. Because let's be honest, if he was 6'3", there's no shot. Like you're unathletic, you don't have a consistent 3-point shot at the moment, you don't play defense, you can't finish at the rim. Like, yeah, nah, I got it, Viper Strike. I was also being sarcastic. No, I don't worry, Viper Strike. I got you. I got your drift. You think he would have developed a turnaround or hook with his shies? I don't know about turnaround, but I guess maybe a hook shot would make sense. I could see that. Yeah. So, all right. I do apologize. We're going to constantly be talking about Giddey all season long. It'll be interesting to watch. I'm intrigued. I'm especially intrigued by this shooting. If this shooting continues, then like, hey, I'm feeling a lot better about Giddey moving forward, because now, I can put him basically like at the 4, and I don't really have much issues with him. I know he wants the ball in his hands, but I at least then know that he can be like a starting caliber player if he's shooting the ball consistently, like no matter what moving forward. I won't have to worry about it. But it's early in the year, so I'm not going to be like, oh, he's a consistent 3-point shooter now. I want to say that, but I can't. We actually, even if he shoots well this season, like we still have to have some doubt in our mind that he didn't this wasn't just a fluke here. If he's a 37 3-point shooter on 4 attempts, do you think that's good enough? No, I think he needs to at least get up to 5, ideally 6 3-point attempts. On that percentage, on 6 attempts, yes, he's good enough. But this is the Patrick Williams argument. Patrick Williams averages 40% from 3-point range, but he only shoots 3.5 attempts per game. That's not enough. I don't care if you're 40% 3-point shooter. I need you taking more. I would much rather you shoot 38% from 3 on 6 attempts than you shoot 40% on 3.5 attempts. You need to shoot more. Because volume matters. You can't just be like, I'm a 37% 3-point shooter, but you only take a few per game. You need to shoot more. That's the whole thing when it comes to today's NBA. Like a spin jumper in the lane like Brunson does. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh. Yeah, honestly, I could see that for Giddey. Yeah. Yeah, if Giddey got that, then he'd probably draw more fouls, honestly. All right. let me move on to a couple other things here. So, let me show you. Let me show you an example of what when I talk about Giddy having a 3-point shot and him being a threat to score. Let me show you what I'm talking about here, okay? Because this is, in my opinion, an example of how this is supposed to work. Oh shoot! Hold on. I just opened the wrong recording. Okay. Let me go find the timestamp because I know what the shot was. It was a miss, but it's okay. 5:38. So, hold on, let me pull this off so I don't get copyright striked again. So, well, I'm going to show you a shot here, or a play here, where at this point, Giddy had already knocked down multiple 3-point shots. No, actually, hold on. That is the incorrect shot. Might be 418 instead. Okay, so here. So at this point right now, Giddy had knocked down his 4 threes. So the team, the manager, like, oh crap, what do we have to do? Like, how are we gonna guard this guy now? So first and foremost, let's just take this. Just look at this, right? Right off rip, right now, Anthony Black is up in Giddy's face at half court. Okay, when you're a threat to score from the 3-point line, this is how defenses are gonna guard you consistently. Okay, so you're already extending the defense out because now the team's like, oh crap, oh, we have to make sure he doesn't get an open 3-point look out of this. Okay, so Anthony Black is up here, right off rip. Sorry about the black screen. So the defense is like, crap, we have to make sure he doesn't get an open 3-point look off of this. Then watch this pick and roll set. So first and foremost, if you weren't aware, this is a typical set by the Bulls. This is Zach. He can either come off of this or go back door. He tried to go back door, it didn't work. That's cool. And so now we run the play now. So in this play now, though, you have the opposing team defender in Anthony Black who's guarding Giddy. He has to go over, and look how high Mo Wagner is playing this. Okay, he's up here. He's up. He is very much up to make sure that Giddy doesn't get a 3-point shot off of this pick and roll play with Vooch. Because of this alone, right? This isn't Giddy, being a threat to score inside. It's just the fact that he is a 3-point shooter right now. Just because he has hit 4 threes and the defense is scared he's gonna hit another, this is what happens. This is now suddenly the defense has to commit harder to making sure he doesn't get the 3-point attempt off or a good open look at with the 3-point attempt. Hence now he's able to go ahead and just do this. Now suddenly the defense is like, well, all right, the 3-point shooter here and a 3-point shooter here, we kind of have to pick our poison. So we let Vooch stay open, which, probably, from this game makes the right sense because he didn't make a 3, but now he's open. Missed a shot. Missed shot. I don't care about this missed shot. I'm just happy that that's the playmaking that I'm looking for from Giddy. If he can get that 3-point shot and draw the defense, draw 2 like that near the top of the 3-point line, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, now I can have Giddy running this team consistently. I can have the ball in his hands consistently, and I know that he will open up shots for others and pass it to him on the dime. Like, that's where I'm like, yeah, this will work. But again, how many times is this actually gonna happen where he hits 4 threes in a row, right? So it's all about making sure that he has that consistency. If he is a legitimate shooter off the pick and roll screen, it will open up many shots for others easily. But again, we don't know that. We don't know if that's gonna always happen consistently. So it's up for Giddy to show the rest of the world that he is a threat from 3 consistently. Therefore, you have to guard him like this, because then it's going to open up everyone else for open looks. So again, this sort of open shot, right, for Vooch here, this was created by Giddy, in my opinion. This was Giddy bending the defense and opening a shot up for Vooch. This was not Giddy being the Draymond Green where he's like, oh, this guy's open, I make a great pass to him, and I give him the ball at the right spot. That's not this. That's very different, right? This was a bend of the defense, playmaking type pass from Giddy, and great shot, just missed it. But that's a good sign, because if he's a 3-point threat, then the defense has to guard him in a specific way. They have to commit to him. Because right now, what I've always said, right, if I was the opposing team, is I'm basically, what I would do personally is I'd go under the screen right now. If okay, again, this is assuming that Giddey didn't hit 4 threes in a row, right? But if I was the Magic, I'm saying I'm going under the screen from Vooch, and so I'm having Anthony Black meet him on the other end, and I'm just daring Giddey to score. Like, that's what I would do. In this game, he showed, though, like, I'm hitting the 3, so guard me or you're getting burned. So, hence why this is what happens. But, yeah, moving forward, if I see this man moving forward, he's hitting the 3 ball consistently like this, then I'll be excited. I'll be very excited, because now I'm thinking of all the possibilities of a 6'8" point guard that has a legitimate 3-point shot now. That's huge, right? With his passing skill set. Okay. So there's that. I did see your chat, Noel. I didn't just read over it. I looked really good as well. Yes. You see, Io is a 6-man level player, something more. In my opinion, Io is for what I know from last season into this season, I think Io is a starter caliber player. I don't know what his ceiling is currently. That's kind of my big question at the moment. But I think the 6-man is probably his best role, kind of in his career moving forward, where he really can be a effective 6-man, come in and spark an offense or spark a defensive end of the floor. Like, I think him probably being the 6-man and playing a lot of minutes, maybe closing some games, is probably his best thing moving forward. But in terms of skill, I think he is a starter caliber player. So I don't know. The Bulls have an interesting decision with him moving forward because, right? I mean, with Giddey on the team, and him being the point, right? Io's kind of slotted to the bench, so it's a little harder for Io to consistently, be like, you're not gonna look at him as a starting guard, right? He's the bench guy, and with Kobe still being like the shooting guard hybrid, or hybrid guard, you have Kobe, of course, play the 2 because he's the consistent 3-point shooter. So, I think moving forward, Io's probably just kind of destined to be the 6-man and just be like a one hell of a 6-man. But I think he could start, man. I really do think he could start on a lot of teams, whether being the starting point guard or 2 guard. But he would need to show more. He would need to show more scoring for sure. I can see him being a Derek White. Oh yeah, that's a great comparison, honestly. So I always said Io in my head as like a Marcus Smart, but then he's shown that he's a better shooter than Smart, and he's faster than Smart, and he has more ball control than Smart. Because if Io's turnover, like, Io just doesn't turn the ball over, honestly. I know he's done it a little bit more this year to start because he's playing faster, but actually no, it's still kind of relatively the same. But like, yeah, Io just doesn't turn the ball over. Like, that honest, like, he doesn't turn the ball over. So having that, be in your starting lineup is always a good thing because you know that he's not going to turn the ball over. As needs the third move to get. Wait, what? I don't know what WND is. Sorry, Rob. Second move to get a shot at times. I think Io has it, honestly. I just don't know if we've been able to see it consistently. Because it's kind of hard throughout the game. I think against these conference teams that are above the Bulls is going to be a move more to Africa and make decisions moving forward. Yeah, but I think you need more data than just the 2 games that we've had so far. Like, I'm not making like decisions like right now if I'm AK. Like, we're 3-2, 2 good wins against Eastern Conference foes, but we're 3-2. So I'm not taking too much data in and making a decision off of it just yet. Okay, so for example here, Noel, this is NBA or Basketball Reference's projection for Io for this year. So I think this doesn't show minutes per game, right? So this is per 36. So, like, in my opinion, if this is what Io's gonna put up in 36 minutes, let's say he was a shooting guard, I think he's fine. If he's the point guard, it's not enough. If he's the point guard, I think he needs to get up to like 18. Which honestly, I feel like he could do it. It'd be harder. If he was a shooting guard, though, like if he's like the catch and shoot shooter, like four attempts from 3 would be very good to see, or even higher than that. Yeah, like, still obviously he's very good perimeter defender. So yeah, like if he was like the shooting guard, I think this is fine. If he's the point guard, it's not enough. Which I feel like he can do either, honestly. So that's the reason why right now I'm like, I think he's still just he's kind of stuck in the 6-man role at the moment, but that's fine. I'm cool with that for Io, and I think he'll have a very successful and very impactful career as a 6-man and get paid pretty decently well. I know he's up for a contract soon, so we'll see. He has a couple moves he just mentally gets into drive mode or shoot mode rather than reading the play. But I want Io on attack mode at all times because he's very fast, and he's Io's one of the best finishing guards in the league when he's right. Hence the 50% field goal percentage that he consistently kind of puts up there. He's very good at finishing at the rim. Like he's underrated in terms of finishing at the rim. He's one of the best when he does get to the rim. So I'm fine with him attacking at all times. I do agree though that maybe he does get tunnel vision in a sense, but I can kind of live with it. I'm seeing every game moving forward. Okay, yeah, I got you, Rob. Still though, Rob, I just will say this. I think that the Western Conference is much more competitive. So as much as I want to say like, yeah, we can measure up against the Eastern Conference teams and like get good data from it, I think the West is very good. The West is like insanely good. So I wouldn't be like trying to base everything off the Eastern Conference. Obviously, you would put a lot of stock into it, but the West is still a very good measuring stick for a lot of things. Because there are so many teams this year that are trying to make the just top 10 seeds. Well, I'm talking about also just in case you shoot the pull-up or floater. My only thing about that, Matt, is just that he is actually like he is still like legitimately. Here, I'll pull up Io stats from last season. So Io is just so good at finishing the layups like that. I don't know if I want him shooting floaters that much, if that makes sense. Let me go to. Nope. Okay. Well, let me just get this way, I guess. I would agree with the pull-up jumper sometimes. Again, I limit the mid-range though. I don't need mid-range shots. But yeah, I guess maybe the pull-up jumper would be smarter in some decisions. Or some instances, I should say. I mean, like, so this is what I'm talking about. Like, Io last year, I mean, this is an insane stat for a guard, especially at his size. 63%, basically less than 5 feet. Like, he's very good. Restricted area, 63%. Let's see. So, yeah, I mean, so this is where like he is still kind of like, you know, tweener, which is fine. I'm fine with that with Io. Yeah, layup, he shot 61%. Like, that's very good. For a guard that is only 6'4", like that's very good from him. I'm trying to find it. I don't he has a floater, yeah, so it's a little bit worse, but I guess maybe he can try to find a way to kind of get it in every now and then. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think that if he finds a way to the basket, then I'm just gonna let him go and just have him finish it really well. We're gonna play that twice. We'll play them twice, and we beat Minnesota twice a year. Oh yeah, I know. That's why I said though that you put most stock in the East. But you still need to make sure that like you're not like, oh, we're beating all these Eastern Conference teams, but then we lose to every Western Conference team. Like that has to be looked at. I think in half court it seems that that's when he's getting blocked. Ah, I see. Yeah. Yeah, maybe with Io that might be more of like a dribble thing too with him, but yeah, maybe then that's where he needs to figure out the floater because he needs to get it over big men. Yeah, transition is yeah. Io is fantastic in transition. Yeah, the start of this season for Io has not been great. Like in terms of shooting at the basket, I don't know what happened, but actually, I mean this might be just from tonight because he shot so well from tonight. But the first couple of games, he missed a lot of layups. That I was just like, that's not typical Io. Oh, actually, yeah, he's back to normal, I guess. It just took a couple of shots for him to just get back to normal. Yeah, his jump shot, though, is 2 for 17 to start the season. That's atrocious. That needs to get better, which I think it will. Or 4 for 23. Yeah. Io last year was ridiculously good at the rim last year. Yeah, Io since he's gotten to the league has been a very good finisher at the rim. And I think that's something that I'm really happy with because how many times have we talked about with guards that come into the league and just they can't finish at the rim, even if they have good size, right? Io's coming in and just done that immediately. He beats his man a lot. Just shoot that mini so the biggest step in, he'll be unstoppable. See, okay. So here's the issue with that, Matt. Like the mid-range shot. This is the reason why I always get a little bit concerned about the midi. It's the fact that you're instead of you fighting for your 60% shot, right? So again, let's just take it's layups, right? So or let's just say less than 5 feet. So if you shoot the mid-range shot, you're basically saying I am giving up my over 60% shot that I'm looking for a, you know, what, 40% shot, right? Like I guess, you know, 15 to 19 feet shot 50%, but it's unlimited attempts. Like you're pretty much you're sacrificing your field goal percentage when you decide to shoot the mid-range shot. Now I'm aware that there are moments where you should shoot it. Like I'm not saying never shoot the mid-range, but if possible at all times, I would rather just him try to get to the rim because he just shoots at a higher percentage there, and hence everyone does. So that's my only thing. That's why I'm a little bit concerned. I was thinking that if he shoots like a pull-up jump shot in the paint more, so like let's say he does kind of get to like not restricted area in the paint, but like he finds a way to increase this more where he's in the paint, but it's like a little pull-up shot, then I can live with it a little bit better. I think it'd be a little bit more effective overall. Yeah, the mid-range just sits a little. That's the last 3 season goals that I don't need. I've been very critical of the mid-range since the Mars got here. I should get better as Giddy gets worse. We stay waiting. Oh my god, if that's what happens, where Giddy suddenly decreases so badly, but Io suddenly gets on fire, that'd be so funny. Yeah. We're gonna be beating good Western teams for sure. Just wait. I don't know, man. I mean, we didn't beat the Thunder and we didn't beat the Pelicans without Zion, and I know we beat Memphis, but they didn't have Ja. So I think the West will just be beating on Eastern Conference teams this year. I'm not gonna lie. The West is stacked. Next game, Nets. Game 6 and 8 nights. Yeah. Tough road. Or tough start for the Bulls. Looks good. Was all situational. It's gonna be big mini. Okay, yeah. I was just, if you told me like 15-footer, I'd be like, I don't know about that, you know. But yeah, I can understand like a 10-footer, right? That would make a little bit more sense in my head. Actually, let me really quickly pull this up because I do want to look at this. I did watch his no look to Sanogo that he had. Yeah, let me just watch this because I think this is good to watch. Oh, okay. Sorry. By the way, I don't do full screen because copyright. I did full screen and NBA bot got me, so that's the reason why it's gonna be like this. So yeah, let's just watch this play from Io. So gets it, and so this is a good sign because this is Franz on him, so he's able to just drive around him and get a step on him, which is great. Yeah, this is one hell of a no look dime to Sanogo. That is awesome. Yeah. The next step for Io is probably kind of like taking advantage of his cutting ability more consistently. So like I know that's not a cut, but that's really him being like a good, you know, efficient, I guess lateral movement. Like that's really good from Io. So I'm hoping that that's kind of like his next step that he can, you know, effectively cut. So for example, when we did see a Vooch post up that ended up being that wasn't a Vooch turnaround fadeaway shot, which is good to see. But example of Io cutting hard would be wherever the hell he came in. I know this happened. Hello? Was it in the fourth? It might have been the fourth quarter actually. Nope, it was in the second quarter. Now I'm remembering. Let's see here. Okay, so 4:45. So just quickly just going through like typical set. So by the way, again, 5 out. So you see here all 5 guys are out. This is great. Good overall job by Donovan to get this implemented effectively. So drive. Oh, never mind. That was not it either. Was it really first quarter? Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Okay, no, it was just after this play. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Okay. Hold on, bring this back. Okay, here we go. So this is the play taking advantage of what I was cutting. So pick and roll between Zach and Vooch, and then post up. And I don't know what the hell KCP's doing here, but yeah, this was I don't know where my man is. I'm lost. Checked in the full moment, and I just cuts here. So this is kind of like his next step, in my opinion. Like, can he find this sort of stuff consistently? So this is a Vooch post up. I'm not exactly happy with it. Now, I will say though, it was off a pick and roll set. Like, it wasn't like a I'm gonna run a cross screen and have Vooch come over to one side of the floor and then just post them up. So at least it wasn't that. I can more so live with a pick and roll between Zach and Vooch, and then like Vooch kind of does this instead. It's still not ideal in my opinion. I think I would just run another pick and roll personally, but you know, this is effective. Passing from the post I think is always a great option. Scoring from the post though, from a person that's not a great scorer from the post, is not a good option though. So if you use the post to pass, like how Draymond Green uses the post with the split action with Curry, I'm all for it. I love it. I just, you know, with Vooch, Vooch is a good passer, but he's not Draymond Green, and he's not even Josh Giddey, right, in terms of his passing. So when it comes to this sort of stuff, I always am like, hey, let's not try to post up as much as possible. But good job by Vooch, good job by Io there for cutting hard to the basket. All right, let's just look. I just want to do a quick look around the league. So I want to say thank you guys for all checking out the stream. Stream's not ending just yet, but I do appreciate y'all being here. If you have not already hit the like button on the stream, please do. It helps me out a lot. I truly do appreciate the support. It's been a fun stream already, so I appreciate y'all being here. We've had already over 120 different viewers throughout this stream, so I appreciate everyone being here and chatting with me. It's been a lot of fun. I had a moment where I had too many chatters and I couldn't keep up, so glad that everyone's been here. I appreciate all the support. I do want to talk a little bit about what's kind of going on in the league right now. First and foremost, the Pelicans are about to lose their second game in a row to the Steph Curry-less Warriors. So I don't know what the hell this is right here, but this is tragic from the Pelicans. Yeah, Pelicans lost. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, right? Yeah, the Pelicans lost to the Warriors yesterday without Steph, and they're gonna lose again to the Warriors tonight. That's insane. I don't know what the hell the Pelicans are doing right now. That's unacceptable. The Cavs beat the Lakers, so now the Cavs are 5-0. Lakers are now 3-2. So good start for the Lakers. And now they're back to 3-2. So interesting to see how that works out. Raptors, they did lose Scotty Barnes, so I won't lie. My prediction that the Raptors gonna be better than the Bulls is looking great at the moment, but it is still early. And I've been hearing some rumors about Bam Adebayo doesn't look too great for the Heat right now. Yeah, box score watching, so I don't exactly know what he did in this game, but I've been hearing some stuff that Bam just doesn't look great. He's very clearly a guy that needs help to get his shot. Still a very good overall player, but he's not a guy you should be trusting to kind of create his own shot off the dribble. So that's going on. Nets beat the Grizzlies tonight. I'm gonna guess that Ja did not play in this game. Oh, he did actually. Wow. So the Grizzlies just lost 2 in a row to teams that I didn't think they should lose 2 in a row to. Right. Interesting. What happened to Desmond Bain? Let's concerning. I don't know if you guys saw this game. This was on ESPN today. It was the Celtics versus the Pacers. The Pacers almost blew a 15-point lead in like 3 minutes or something. Like the Pacers were up by a significant margin to at the end of the fourth quarter, and yet it got to overtime, and I'm like, what are you doing? So yeah, I don't know what exactly this would be right here, but like they were up by a significant amount with very little time remaining, and somehow it got to overtime. I've been kind of texting back and forth with my friend David about like, are the Pacers just bad? Because like Tyrese Haliburton, like I don't really know what's going on with him, but he hasn't had that good of a year to start. Siakam had a great game in this one. I guess they didn't have Miles Turner due to injury / illness, so that's interesting. But I don't know, man. The Pacers have just kind of underperformed to start the season, but I had 5 games. I'm not going to be going too crazy about it. Hornets beat the Raptors. Interesting there. And then we had this game where we had the 2 aliens going off against each other. Wemby did not have a good game. Holy hell. Wow. Yeah, I saw Wemby kind of get injured at one point. He went to the locker room and he came back. So it looks like Chet took this one. As the Thunder completely just looked like they had control of this game throughout the entire game. It was kind of close at the end, but I mean, yeah, this was the Thunder. This was a very close, like a very clear Thunder win. So that's what's going on around in the rest of today's NBA. Cavs are 5-0. Yeah, so it's Oklahoma City and the Cavs are the only remaining undefeated teams. We actually, so the Utah Jazz are clearly they can't get a win right now, so that's interesting. Yeah. All right. Interesting stuff around the league right now. What do you guys have to say? Dan Cavs looking legit. Yeah, honestly, they are looking legit. The Cavs fluky. To me, it matters about if Evan Mobley is like gonna be that guy. Let me look at today's. This is actually a really good game. So I want to look at this. So, I mean, yeah, if Mobley's gonna do this, like he's gonna put up 25. Like I don't think they're fluky. But that's kind of the question with Mobley is like, I've seen you average 15 and 9, but can you go on average 20 and 10 and put up, 2 blocks and a steal per game? He didn't really get the rest of the numbers, but he put up 25, so that's really good to see. 25 in 18 minutes. Wow. Because he had 5 fouls. So yeah, if Mobley can go out and do this, I think he can. This is consistent for the Cavs moving forward, but I don't know. Right, I don't know if he can continue doing this. Mitchell continues his good luck, and Jarrett Allen 20 and 17 tonight. Wow. Okay, so I mean, it still was the AD and LeBron show. Rui kind of came down to earth again. Dalton connected 18. Okay, cool for connect. Guys, be tired for the Bulls game. Where's Loki overachieving too? Yeah, man, I was. Like, I don't know why I had that like feeling in me. I'm like, the Warriors are gonna be good this year. And I'm just shocked, bro. Like, Steph's out for these games. Steph didn't play in either of these games, and somehow they won both games against the Pelicans. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And this is what the Pelicans with Zion and Brandon Ingram. Like, it's both of them here. I guess no CJ McCollum, and obviously they're missing DeJounte. But like, the Pelicans should still win this game. I'm sorry. Like, I'm aware that this is not, they're full team. They don't have Trey Murphy, no CJ in this one, but they had CJ last night, by the way. No DeJounte, obviously, but like they should still win this game. The Warriors just like the offense seems to have taken another step forward. I don't know what it is, man. The offense just seems to just be always moving forward with under Steve Kerr, and so like, I mean, in this game, like Podziemski didn't have like the greatest game in the world, it looks like, but Buddy Hield at 21 in this game. Like, Lindy Waters in the previous game had like 21. It's just, I don't know how they do it, but they always find a way to do it, man. Certified LeBron hair, so take it with a grain of salt, but LeBron looks old out there. It might be because he played for the Olympics, but I swear, halftime doesn't run back on defense, he stays. I agree. Yeah. I agree that LeBron is looking a little bit more tired than usual. And this is, me adjusting to his standards of like from what we saw previous seasons where he was not really running back on defense either. So yeah, I'm interested, man. I'm like there have been some games for LeBron that he just doesn't look fully there. And I'm even talking like offensively, he just kind of just doesn't look the same. So we'll see, man. It's gonna be interesting to look at. I do think though that part of JJ Redick's idea though was to make LeBron less involved and make AD kind of more of a focal point. So I do wonder maybe that's kind of what's going on. And JJ and LeBron have like a whole strategy just to kind of help him get through the year. But yeah, is it time now that his son is finally in the league? Is it time to finally Father Time has caught up to him and starts to go downhill? He'll still be very effective, but he just won't be like all-star, like, you know, top 10 or top 5 player anymore. But you can even argue like right now he's not top 5. So we'll see. Sounds like Vooch Flesh, you're not running back. Yeah. Appreciate it, Delbert. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Real quickly before I do end stream though, can someone go ahead and tell me, does it look like my camera and the sound is synced, or does it look out of sync right now? I just want to know really quickly, because I know Zay over came in and told me that my frames look like I was dropping, which I didn't drop frames, but I accidentally started I accidentally hit the record button at some point. I don't know when I did it, but I accidentally hit record, and I think that's what kind of messed up for a little bit. So sorry about that. That's what LeBron always does. If he doesn't get highlight block opportunities, he's been conserving energy since the second Cavs run. I think he's done that since the second Cavs run, but like, I think it's just a little bit more telling that like right now on offense, he just doesn't look the same. Where's Axel fit pieces added this offseason, Melton and Hield? Oh yeah, I mean, I think that both those guys are very good. I guess I just thought maybe this is like Steph's like just gonna go off this year, and I don't know who else would help. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far for them. Even without Steph, they're getting 2 wins against the Pelicans. Looks in sync. All right, I appreciate it. I appreciate that a lot, Viper Strike. That helps me out a lot because I don't want to go watch my stream on stream. It's a little weird. Okay, good to know. All right, y'all. So here's what's gonna happen moving forward from here on out for the Bulls. So the Bulls went ahead and they got this game in Orlando. So props to them. Now, Bulls, this is Friday, right? They're gonna be at Barclays on Friday. I don't fully know my dates right now. Let's see. So it is Friday. So the Bulls will be in Brooklyn at Barclays on Friday. Okay. Right now, at this current moment, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream postgame for this one. There was a slight chance that I wasn't able to stream tonight, but I was able to do it. This one, I really don't know. It's kind of like a 50-50 at the moment. So, unfortunately, I can't guarantee a stream on Friday. I'm going to try still, but I can't guarantee a stream after the game on Friday. If anything, it might be one of those things where I can stream like maybe like a quick 45 minutes and then I have to go. So, still be on the lookout. If there is ever a post-game stream, I do post it like before the game or like right as the game starts. Like I schedule it. So you'll see if it's scheduled or not as the game starts. So be on the lookout for it. So again, I can't guarantee a stream. Yeah, it's kind of 50-50 at the moment for Friday. So stream will be at 9 p.m. Central if I do stream. But again, I'm not entirely sure. And then I believe then we are going to face Utah. So Laurie Marketing will be back. And so this is, what day is this? This is Monday. Okay, so yeah, Monday. No matter what, I should be back on Monday. If I can't stream on Friday, I will be streaming on Monday, for sure. So just letting you guys know about that. But first and foremost, let's talk about the game on Friday here. So this is going to be an interesting game to look at because I think when it comes to Brooklyn and the Bulls, they, in a sense, they play similar, like in terms of shot selection, but you can clearly see that the Nets play slower, the Bulls play a lot faster. So it's gonna be interesting to just kind of watch and see who's gonna be hitting the most amount of threes, even though one plays really fast and one doesn't really play that fast. I'm extremely interested to see right now. I just want to pull this up really quickly. Let's see, points allowed. Oh, okay. Hold on. Whoops. Okay, so I don't think this is fully updated for tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, actually, no, it is, because Chicago went up to 116. So, okay. So they're giving up right now because of what happened tonight with the ugly fourth quarter, which was disgusting to witness tonight. That fourth quarter was something. The Brooklyn Nets and the Bulls are giving up about the same amount of points per game. So, I don't know what to expect, honestly. This is going to be interesting to really look at, because the Brooklyn Nets, in my head, have always played really fast. They take a lot of three-point shots. They don't always have the greatest team, obviously, but, you know, after all the trades and everything, but they always, like, play a certain style. But I don't know if that's happening now. Seems like they're playing a little bit slower. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen here in this one. And see who's going to win the scoring battle, because we're going to have Cam Thomas versus the Bull scorers, and I'm going to guess Cam Thomas will find a way to score a bunch of points against us. Bulls, somehow, even though we play really small, we're doing a lot on the boards. So Brooklyn probably be playing bigger because they have Ben Simmons out there with Nick Claxton. So big thing for the Bulls is just to get the rebounds and keep pushing tempo against this team, because I don't want to face Nick Claxton in the half-court defense. Nick Claxton is very good defensively, therefore I don't want to face Nick Claxton in the half-court. Now, because I expect the Bulls to win this game, because I don't think Brooklyn's that good of a team, because I expect them to win this game, they will find a way to lose this one. So I'm gonna stick, you know, with my guys, because I said that I thought they'd lose the Memphis game, I thought they'd lose the Magic game, I thought they'd lose the Milwaukee Bucks game, right? And they won those games. I did say, though, that they would lose to the Thunder, but I thought they'd win against the Pelicans, and they didn't. So I'm sticking to my guns of what I usually think. I'm like, okay, I think the Bulls should win this game, because I don't think the Nets are very good. But somehow the Bulls are going to find a way to lose this one, because this is the Bulls. They won against the Magic in a ugly win that they should not have gotten somehow, and yet they're going to somehow lose to the Nets in a really weird way. So I know it's coming, but I'm saying that I think the Bulls should win this one. So it's, you know, yeah, I'm sorry if I jinx it, but yeah, I don't know what the hell is happening. Especially who's gonna play, who's gonna be warming the bench. So if I'm not mistaken, again, I haven't fully paid attention to the Nets this season, but if I'm not mistaken, Ben Simmons has been playing. Let's see here. No, he is not, I guess. Okay, I guess he hasn't. What happened? I saw him play in one game, at least. I know that for sure. So hold on. Let me look at this. Okay, yeah. I know he played against the Bucks because there's this whole clip going around about how he didn't shoot against Brook Lopez. Okay, what's going on with Ben? Let me know. Okay, apparently having back issues. Okay, so he's played in 3 games this year? 4. Okay, he's played in 4 games. So we'll see who's available, I guess. If not, then the Bulls should easily win the rebounding battle. So that'll be interesting to watch. A lot of times, like, you think you jinxed them. I mean, I don't know if I fully jinxed them, because I said against the Thunder they were going to lose, which that's a scheduled loss. But I mean, so far I'm 1-4 on my predictions in terms of what I think should happen. So yeah, this has been a horrific start in my head. Yeah, I think he played the first 2 games in the back. So he's played in 4. So I don't know then. I really don't know what's going on. Left the game as soon as I told my wife I'm indifferent about people. When he started annoying me, he scored 2 straight threes. Of course, right? That's how it goes. I literally saw a tweet about, like, Patrick Williams is just he is such a horrible player or something like that, and, like, then he hit those 2 threes. Jordan Finney-Smith career high game incoming. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Someone's gonna go off against the Bulls against the Nets. Somehow. It's gonna happen. Yeah. So the Bulls I'm saying the Bulls should win this, but the way that the season's gone is they're gonna find a way to lose this one. So be prepared for anything. I'm gonna be prepared for anything. I'm gonna be prepared if, like, there's a game winner or something and that's won because Ben Simmons hit a half quarter or something like that. I'm expecting the worst, honestly. So, remember when Chris Chioza cooked us? Yes, bro. Oh my god, man. The one guy that would always cook the Bulls is Ish Smith. Ish Smith cooked the Bulls whenever he played us. It's just like, why is Ish Smith killing the Bulls? Yeah. I don't actually know. I need to look up like a stat of like who are like role players that just had like the greatest games against the Bulls just cuz. Like Ish Smith always comes to mind. Ish Smith would kill us. But I don't know like Bulls killers, if that makes any sense. I don't know if there's anybody else that's like very clear, like, yeah, I'm a Bulls killer, that I consistently, like, I played you at least like 6 times and I just kill you every single time. That's like a role player, not like a star. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think the Bulls should win this one, and of course they'll find a way to lose it just because I said that. Man, their defensive rating is looking great. Ours is looking okay, but I don't trust defensive rating through 5 games really. So, all right, y'all. I appreciate everyone being here. If you have not already, hit the like button. Please do, whether you're watching currently or if you're watching the VOD. I appreciate it. Again, over 125 different viewers stuck the stream. I appreciate all the support. Again, stream on Friday is kind of up in the air. It's 50-50, so I do apologize if I'm not able to make it, but it is 50-50 at the moment. So if I don't see you on Friday, I'll see you on Monday. All right. So everyone have a great weekend. If I don't see you, I hope to see you though on Friday. And I'll do whenever I do see you. All right. Bulls won tonight in a crazy, ugly fourth quarter win. But it's been an overall fun season so far. I'm happy to see that they're playing faster and shooting threes. Hopefully it continues against the Nets. All right, y'all. I'm gonna catch up on some of the other highlights. Peace out, y'all.